Let's start.
Awesome.
I'm fine. What about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, Mr. I was lucky to see you again, man. Thanks for having the chance for me to chat to you.
Yeah. So, congratulations. I don't know congratulations for what, because I'm following with you since almost 4 years. And I know this day will happen. So, congratulations for your consistency and congratulations for your mindset. Because I know, and I will not do this podcast if I knew the goal was just to reach the CrossFit game, because I know you have more expectation. It's not just going to the CrossFit game. I
Yeah.
know you want to do better. So congratulations for all those things. And I'm very happy it's finally happened, because I knew it will come, but it was this year.
Just took it. Yeah, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate your Sam. It's been I'm still kind of like also like it just feels like it's almost not real because it's been so long working towards it. Like when I started, it was like I got into the sport to be competitive, and then when I saw how good the guys overseas were, it's almost like for like a year or two, it's like I don't know if I'll ever go to the games. These guys are so good. My scores are so low, but yeah, it's like the consistency paid off. And I think in my fourth year of trying was really like no matter how long it takes, I will make sure that I go to the games. And when I do go, I don't want to just participate. I don't want to just be able to say, oh, I went to the games and I came last or whatever it is. I want to go to the game and I want to compete and I want to represent Africa as best I can. So yeah, it's not just a go to the games vibe. It's really like I'm keen to go more, learn as much as I can this year and go next year to make a big scene. So I'm very excited for everything that's being. So thanks, Al.
Yeah, because we can because as I told you just at the beginning, I'm following you since 4 years, and the progression is really showing the consistency. Every year you got better and better and better, and for me it was just normal. It was just the final touch, going to the
Yeah.
CrossFit game, and and I think we can talk about Vivifyu.
Yeah.
Because also that was of my point, because it's just not about what we can see, get the qualification. It's all what's happened behind. And I know all you are working in team. And as I said, since a long time, you have a beautiful team. And for sure, the result can only come like that.
Yeah, 100%. I even in some of the interviews we did at semifinals now, it's and speaking to some other people even after the semifinals, it really was like every year I have been getting better and better and better, but the real like change where like significant progress and significant like increase in fitness and skill and more so mindset over everything else did start to happen as soon as I started to work with Ricky from the Vivifyu team, and he took me on onto the team, and then we started to work together and we started to compete together and stuff like that. So 100% everything is also homage to and big thanks to Vivifyu, because without that team, without those coaches, without those fellow competitors that follow the program, I don't think I would have been here this year. I think it will have still taken me much longer to get to the end goal eventually to go to the game. So definitely without them, it wouldn't have, I don't think it would have happened like it did, or would have been realized the way I competed this weekend. So yeah, definitely without the Vivifyu team, it wouldn't have happened.
And I think it's a general lesson for everybody in Africa. Making a good athlete, it's not just making a one shot. It's something you need to build it. You need to build. It will take time, step by step, getting better, improve in each domain, and just getting the athlete better step by step. And because we met 2 times in Egypt, and what I witnessed there about your team, it was really amazing. I'm really, when I'm going there, I'm like just learning a lot of things, just watching all of you. And I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy. And you know, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
very happy it happened because
yeah.
it's a well deserved. It's well deserved for you, well deserved for Ricky. It's well deserved also for the team who got
Yeah,
the two.
100%.
It's just unbelievable. It's just demonstrating that the method is the good method, and
Yeah.
and I really hope you will push hard when you will reach there. So I'm very, very happy. And
Yeah.
now, what is the difference now between your training just before the qualification and now? Did you make any difference, or you change something in your program, or?
Yeah, Ricky, definitely throughout this year and this specific season, obviously in the off season from last year, after last year's semifinals, we started to compete quite a bit, that enter as many competitions as possible. So I think we did over like between 6 or 10 competitions, like in-person competitions, to kind of prep mentally for when you're on the floor, something that can go wrong, you're mentally equipped to kind of change that. And then when the season started, in season, like from the open, we kind of like ramped up fitness to peak for not to peak for the open, but to try aim to peak or be at peak in semi-final conditions. So the volume of training wasn't very, very high. It was very specific. And then when we got and we finished quarterfinals, that gap from quarterfinals to semifinals, the volume was ramped up immensely. So what I was used to training just from quarterfinals to semifinals, we had an insane amount of extra volume added onto the program. And then now even more so from semifinals now, prepping in this month and a half, just over a month that's left. And since semifinals finished, the volume has gone up even more. So it's not necessarily we're doing different type of training. The methodology of Vivifyu works, and what we've been doing over the years is very consistent, but it's a big thing of volume and getting used to the volume, because the CrossFit Games, the type of workouts they do, the 4 to 5 day competition, it's a lot of volume. So if we're not conditioned, if my body's not conditioned for the volume, I'm not going to be prepared to compete. I'll be just participating. So the biggest change in training specifically is the volume has been shot through the roof. Like volume is a lot. It's between 5 to 6 hours. I would say realistically 4 to 5 hours a day that I'm trying to train. But that includes everything. Like it includes a strength session, it includes conditioning, it includes some recovery, it includes some zone 2 stuff. So it's volume is the biggest change that has happened. But it's also done, from what I can see, reading the program and talking with Ricky, it's done very cleverly so I don't burn out, because volume alone isn't always the answer. You get people that get overtrained and then they don't peak, they actually fall off. And the way it's set up for us to just casually build up, it looks like we're about to peak again just before set for the game. So volume has changed, but in a very clever and scientific way that I'm not going to fall off when it's supposed to peak up. I'm going to just get even better before game time starts. So I'm very excited for that.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
So now tell me, so what about your journey now? So you are in full time in training, you are not working beside, you are just training for the game?
No, I wish I could be, but I still need to make an income. I've got a wife to look after them. I've got myself to look after. I've got responsibilities still along. So with the one change that I have made is try to just see where I can optimize when to coach or when to switch out, like training with athletes just a little bit different, or clients. So I'm still training as much as I can now for the games, but I'm also still full-time coaching. I don't own an affiliate where I have someone that can coach for me while I can train. So it's still kind of hard to juggle everything that's on my plate. But it's full days because I'm still coaching as much as I have been. I'm just trying to find out times that as soon as there's a gap, it's immediately filled with training. Or one of my biggest things that I need to work on is trying to eat so I can put on a little bit more weight so I can perform a bit better. So it's still full-time coaching and full-time training. It's just earlier nights, going to bed, spending a little bit less time with the wife. As sad as it is for me that I don't see her as often, she's the one that also is very, very committed to supporting me and saying, no, you know, it's 8 o'clock, you got to go to bed. We'll chat tomorrow or whatever it is. So my wife's very supportive, and I'm very happy about that, because without her, I wouldn't have been able to do this as well. But the day-to-day schedule is very busy. Full-time coaching, full-time training, full-time eating, full-time recovering. There's no in between anyway.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, it's one of the key to have a wife or partner supporting you, because of course we know all the investment it's necessary to put in to reach this level. So yes, of course, it's very important. Sorry, 1 minute, because I have some, yes. And so yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a good sign too. So now about your way to reach the game. I'm talking about the financial way. Do you have any sponsor, or what's your play?
Yeah, so Lifford, my main clothing and main sponsor, I would say currently has stepped up to the table quite a lot. With the fundraiser that I'm trying to do on BackaBuddy, that I constantly, like every 2 days, I'm just sharing on Instagram, getting anybody who's willing to just put any donations towards me going to the games, is raising a little bit of money. And what Lifford has done is they've said whatever is reached on BackaBuddy, they will match. So if it reached up to like 30,000, they'll pay an additional 30,000 for costs, for flights, for accommodation, stuff like that. So that's a huge help. So really, thank you so much, Lifford, for all of that. Obviously Ricky and Vivifyu, they are also a big help. They are doing everything they can to help with sponsors and people that they know to kind of get money coming in here to go out there, and coming in here to go out there. My supplement brand, TNT Mercury, they also on board and helping and trying to get some money together to help me to go over. And basically between the BackaBuddy page, advertising it, Vivifyu, Lifford, and TNT, and even, like, I must say, even Slayer energy drinks, they also say, and they'll also help towards like flight tickets and putting towards money and stuff like that. So it is helping, and sponsors are helping. I just told myself, like, when the first time I went to Egypt, to go to Egypt, we did that insane burpee challenge, pay for a burpee to do that. And I just, after that, decided I'm never doing that again, because that was horrific. I felt so sick after doing 1,500 burpees by myself. That was not a fun time. So I was just like, I'm not doing that again. I'm just going to ask really nicely, anyone, guys, if you're keen to help out, help me get to the games, I'd really appreciate it. But I'm really not in the mood to do over 2,000 burpees to raise money again. So yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there slowly. It's taking its time, but I'm sure, like, with a little bit more advertising, and even now with you helping as well, being on a podcast with Fit Like Africa with you, Alex, I'm also sure it would help a little bit, or I'm hoping that it will help a little bit. But yeah, family, my wife's involved. Every time I look, she's posting everywhere to, hey guys, help Ruan, kids here, help. So she's almost like more of an advocate for me to go than I am myself asking people, hey, pay a little bit here and there. But at the moment, it looks like we'll be okay to be able to go. But having some more money come in would definitely just help, because it's costing quite a bit to go to America.
Yeah, it's costing a lot. Yes, I know. Yes, we will push it. We will push it. You know, I have always this idea, because we are talking about community. Even I don't like really this word, but I'm more thinking about common interest, and it's for African interest to get our athletes to the best competition in the world on the best condition, and
Yeah.
That's why I think it's very important. And also, you say we have, I don't know, maybe 5,000 or 6,000 people doing the Open every year.
Yeah.
When you look at it, it's not so much money if everybody puts a few money for the best athletes. So we need to reach this this mindset, and it's not just about making participate to the Open. It's just also to push forward the sport. And I have conviction the sport get better when your athletes get better results. So
yeah,
and money is one of the key. So
yeah.
we need to push it, and And okay, yeah. And so
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, Al, because it's like uh, I hear what you're saying. The common interest for us to grow the sport in Africa is very difficult when we have, if we look at like overseas, how many Americans, how many Australians, how many Europeans are entering the sport and competing, and even though we do it for fun, cool, but there's so much more interest and people entering, and then you get like Africa that has a very low entry into the sport, and then that's also part of the reason why only one African goes through to America to represent the whole continent, which is hard because you look at like some of the regionals and semifinals from overseas when the top 11 men from one competition go through, or the top 9 men and 9 women from women go through, and Africa just has one. So if there is more interest, if there is more participation, if there is more basically interest and growth for the sport, there needs to be more participation and more people that are invested to kind of like help athletes reach higher levels, so we have a bit more exposure. So I agree with you. I'm on the same page there.
Yeah, there is two logic. If you accept the fact there is only one athlete going to the CrossFit game, and finally for this one athlete, we are blocking the half of the year, because finally is that from the open to the game, the half of the year is almost blocked. So nothing major can happen during this period in Africa, because you have the half of the year is blocked for these athletes going to the CrossFit game. So if you accept this idea, when you get this athlete going to the CrossFit game, you have to support it. It's a minimum. You have to give everything to make sure he's going there on the best condition and giving the best result. And money should be not to be something we have to be worried about, because as I said, if you have 6,000 people putting, I don't know, $2 to push athletes, you reach already $12,000, and it's already a lot of money. So
yeah.
So yes, it's what I try to make understand to the people. It's just not about. I know this sport is fun, but it's not just about burpees and pull up. It's it's like all the sports. We need money, because without money, nothing can move.
Yeah, it's a sad truth. If like, people want to be supportive and help you and whatever, but unfortunately, for some things like this, for a sport to grow, you need to put money into it. You need to be able to invest into something or someone or whatever. And if there is no investment, there's no growth. So it needs to happen. And I don't want to sound like, guys, you must pay for me so I can go. I don't want to sound or come across like at all. A shame. There was a message that came through to me from a person that said, like, I want to help you and support you, but didn't you just get paid a lot of money winning from semifinals to go? And I replied to the lady and I said, yeah, listen, like I did, but I have no idea when I get that money. Like if I look at last year's semifinals, I podiumed at last year's semifinals, first, second, and third person got podium money. I only received that money this year, like 6 to 7 months after the competition. So it's like I got this money and I won basically the $10,000, but I have no idea when I'm getting it. Like there's been no communication to us to say, listen, you guys will get it in a month. Listen, you'll get it in 2 months, or listen, we'll get it to you just before the games. Or I have no idea when I'm going to receive that money. So that makes it hard for me to say, guys, because if I had received that money, if they say, listen, we'll pay it out for you in July, so you'll receive it, then I would have said, I wouldn't have even put donations, like, guys, back up, because then I can pay for my own ticket and I can pay for my own flight, and I wouldn't ask for any donations. It's literally just the fact of not knowing and not having the actual money right now available to be able to pay for me to go, which is why the option of like, hey, please, can anyone support me to go, it came up.
It's a very, very important point you said, because that can bring a lot of confusion to the people. They, as you say, maybe they can think you have the money to go, so maybe they think we don't.
Well, now I'm just being greedy, and now I just want more money. I don't actually want support. Yeah. I've got money, but it really just is not the case. It's truly like I do not know when I'm actually physically gonna get the money. Yes, I won the money, but it's not. It hasn't been said to me, okay, we'll pay it out in a month, or you'll get paid out just before semifinals or whatever it is. Like I said, just from my experience from last year, 2023, coming second and winning the $4,000, I only got that paid in 2024 in January, February. So, and obviously by that time, the August is when the games usually happen. So it's months after the games have happened. So if the case was the same for me qualifying last year, if I had to qualify last year, I would have had to have, guys, please, this is a scenario. I can't go. Yes, I got money, but I can't pay for anything. So I think there is a misconception. I don't think everybody always knows that the money only gets paid out months after you've actually won. And it's a sad thing. I don't know all the legalities or logistics of how competitions pay their athletes out or what like that. But it is a problem for something like this, that if that's the money you would use to travel, pay for stuff, then how would you do that if the competition now for me is in a month and I need to book tickets already? We need to try book accommodation. We need to pay for everything. It's hard to do when you don't have access immediately to 80,000 plus rand to pay that. It's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. But there is, okay, that is one point. But I hope so also. For me, I see the thing. Even an athlete won some money. Even you get the money now. For me, it's not an issue to ask more money, because this sport requests so much effort.
Yeah.
If you compare to if you compare to the other sport, so I don't know what mean too much money. So for me, from my point of view, if you can get extra money, it's good. It's a good thing. It's never too much, because we know, and finally it costs a lot to make this sport, about the equipment, nutrition. If you want to travel any time in the year to make a competition, it's not just about getting to the game, because all the preparation behind need this money. And also, you see, because you still have to spend time to coach just next to your hard training. If you can maybe get more money and train and coach a little bit less, because you can get more time for rest, it's for me, it's okay. So
yeah.
So yes, it's a money in this sport. It's a real issue for me, and but I don't know, because I don't know what exactly. We know the problem. The problem we need. We need more people interested by the sport to get more money. It's like a circle. We need to improve the audience. We need to improve everything. So yes,
yeah, it's just a lot more effort, and then before you look, okay, it's expected more effort. It's just the key word there. Yeah, it's a lot of effort. I can't really speak for overseas guys. Like, we just see and perceive what you see, like on YouTube or on TV, or you hear or you see on Instagram or whatever it is. Like overseas athletes nowadays, like 2010, 2014, there's documentaries about it all over the place, how like a lot of games athletes back then were coaching or were busy with a full-time job or whatever it is. And the more and more it goes along now, since 2010, 2014, more and more there's athletes now that are sponsored because they put a lot of effort in, and they have quality training, and they have an immense amount of fitness. They are now getting paid to be athletes. I might be completely wrong, but just the perception that we see from this side is that a lot of more overseas athletes, when we talk about sponsored athletes, it's like they get a salary to be an athlete. Whereas over here in Africa, the problem is you have to work something else, whether it now a coach, a personal trainer, an accountant, a teacher, a firefighter, or whatever it is. There is something that you have to do to make an income, and you have a lot less effort and time to train. If we look at all the semi-final athletes at now the Renegade Games, I think there's maybe only two. I know for sure only about one, but there's only two athletes, I think, that are full-time athletes that don't have the responsibility of working an 8 to 5 or coaching 7 hours a day or whatever it is. They can focus on full-time training, and whatever their setup is, if it's a sponsor that they help, if it's whatever the case might be. But in overseas, there's more of that, where athletes are being paid to be athletes, focus on eating, sleeping, and just training, and they have the luxury of having more time in the day to effort and focus their training. Where in Africa, we don't have that luxury, and that's like a difficult thing to navigate, trying to get to the same level that the overseas athletes are at. How do you get to the same level of overseas athletes if you have half the time to train, half the time to recover, half the time to, how do you do that? So that's something where the Vivifyu team comes into play, because we take an approach to training very differently. But I don't want to go off topic too much. But yeah, that's a big thing in the money issue in Africa, is that there isn't any sponsors that are paying athletes to be an athlete. You still got to make your own money somehow, or do what you need to do. And in my instance, it's coaching some days 6 to 7 hours every day, and that takes time out of my day to coach or train or recover or eat, or a simple thing to spend time with my wife. Like I don't see my wife as often as I would like, so it's hard.
Yeah, it is. I understand. Just to come back to the semi-final, it was nice to see the podium. It was almost the same than Elfit.
Yeah. I had a little dream about that and saw that as well, like the picture, and it was kind of like similar. Yeah.
Yes, just gave you again some push.
It was really cool. Like, listen, I've got lots of respect and love for Josh. We've been mates for a very long time. And we were even joking about it as well. Like when we were running, it was a good first event for the two of us to kind of like push each other and stay close to each other. And the very same thing happened at Alfit as well in Egypt last year, where like a lot of events was back and forth the whole time. So it's very fun to share the podium like that.
That's cool. That's really cool. And it was one of my points about the importance of making a competition like Elfit. This is competition because you see, when you have as I said many times, when you go there and you meet the best African athletes there. So I think this competition gives you the opportunity to place you and know where you are in the continent. And I really think it's a good opportunity at the mid-season to know where you are and make some adjustment before the open start, and then you get through the semi-final and more.
100%. Like I said, part of the methodology from Vivifyu is to compete as often as we can at higher level competitions. It's a little bit more now, less about just doing competitions for fun. Like for me, and like I want to support as many local comps as possible, because the sport in Africa needs the support, needs the growth, needs the involvement. But on the side of trying to be an athlete, to compete and push yourself against other athletes that are at a very high level, slightly more international competing needs to happen. And Alfred just places very well for us at in the off season, where we want to check, have we been doing everything properly in the off season to lead us into the new season, which starts 2 months after Alfred kind of like finishes. So it's very important that we do comps like that. And we've got, speaking to Ricky, we're going to do Alfred again this year. So always looking forward to it. It's a great vibe. It's a great community. It's a very well run and structured event. Very much looking forward to that. And then in December, so if Alfred is in beginning of November, I think it's beginning of December, so roughly a month in between. I think it's either we're going to do an international competition in Budapest or Barcelona, one of the two. I can't remember exactly the one, but it's another one we're going to try, see if we can travel and compete against a different region's top level athletes to see where we are for the next season to start.
That's good. Barcelona.
Yeah, very excited about it.
Barcelona is good. It's close to my place, so like that.
There we go. There we go. We know where to go to when we're going there. I love it. I hope you're just gonna have dessert ready for me, Al, and we're gonna share dessert again, like at Egypt. I don't know if you remember. Yeah. Gotta make sure we eat a lot when we're there, so it's gonna be good.
Good. And so yes. So now, oh, you playing your how you build your training for the CrossFit game? How do you what's the plan? You expect some workout, you are checking the workouts of the past year and try to adapt your training about that? Or I mean about what you put on your workout to try to match the CrossFit game.
So like obviously the more it gets closer to the CrossFit Games, what Ricky is setting up in the Vivifyu programming and stuff like that, leading towards the CrossFit Games, is there's a lot of like outdoor events. Even though it got announced that majority, and I've been really carefully what Dave Castro has been talking about, it's like it's not the fact that everything will be indoors. It's majority of it will be indoors. And from just watching, obviously, for the past few years now, the CrossFit Games, we're just trying to do everything. We're trying to, like, biking has been a major thing that I've been working in quite a bit of training. Obviously, swimming has been a major thing that I've been working, not just this year, but for the past 4 or 5 years, I've been working swimming quite a lot. So when or if there is a swimming event, I am really looking forward to whatever Adrian Bosman and Castro and all of them are going to throw in. I'm very excited for anything like that. And then it's like weird objects like the double kettlebells, heavy sleds. Like we're very much looking towards just building a very strong base right now. My current focus in training is a lot about moving weight right now, and then next month as it starts, so in about 2 weeks or so, then the training will shift slightly towards a lot of weird functional outdoor fitness. So the emphasis of my training is trying to move weight, because we're not going to lie, like when you look at the CrossFit Games, they're not playing with light weights. They are moving. There's a lot of events with heavy weights, heavy reps. You know, we also adding in a lot of heavy sandbag stuff. Of like 2 years ago, they did the sandbag 1 rep max. So there's a lot of stuff that we're adding in, and it's so much fun to actually do that now. It's not just talking about it. It's actually, I get to play and train and do a lot more stuff that you don't regularly do. So one of the key things that I took away from when we competed my first year at Alfred 2 years ago with Brent Fikowski is that he highly recommends that you like take emphasis on what you know you're going to do. Like if you know there's no swimming in an event, don't do swimming. If you know there's no sandbags coming up in an event, don't like focus your effort on sandbag stuff, because you're not going to do it. Whereas some of that is important to me, but then I love it that my coach Ricky is the complete opposite. Is the complete opposite. He doesn't focus on just the thing now. He doesn't focus on just what you need to do now. It's like, be good everywhere, do things everywhere all the time, so you are always prepared. And it's just nice now to see that some of the stuff that we've been doing that I haven't seen in competition, even though we've been training it, we haven't seen it doing a competition, but now getting the chance that the CrossFit Games is the one spot that has the capability of doing these crazy, wonderful, heavy, weird events. And the stuff that we're doing in training, we finally will hopefully be able to do that. So I think the approach that we're taking is just everything constantly varied, different various loads, different times, and a lot of trying to get outside of the gym as well. So it's exciting, and I'm really enjoying training at the moment.
Good feel. Nice. So any target on the ranking at the game? Any expectation? What you
like? I've always been quite ambitious, and even Ricky is even more so ambitious than I am. But we said that like, to take it back just slightly, I always said that for the past 4 or 5 years now, that or let's say realistically for the past 4 years now, the first semifinal, second, third, and now this year it was my 4th semifinal. When I went to my first semifinal, like I always said, like I want to go to the games. I'm going to the games, and if I don't go to the games, okay, I'm not ready yet. I've always said I don't want to go to the games via a back full entry. If I can't win the competition, how can I expect to go and with Africa only having the one spot? If I can't win the African semifinal, how can I expect to win anybody overseas? So I don't want to get to the games by a back full. I don't want to get there because I got lucky or anything like that. I want to get there because I've earned my spot and I'm ready. If I don't go, I'm not ready yet. So I'm going to continue to train. If I don't go, I'm not ready yet. And this year for me was, as we've been training, as we've been leading up, it was, I did everything I needed to do to earn my spot. So I'm going to do everything I need to do to compete at the games, and with the goal in mind is to try to take Rookie of the Year as the sole male African athlete. I'm pushing to be Rookie of the Year, and I'm gonna push a realistic goal, because me and Ricky always talk about we don't have these far-fetched like star-eyed dreams that it's not doable. But this first year, I'm probably not gonna win the CrossFit Games. My first year going, there's no chance of winning the games my first year. So a realistic goal is like, I'm going to really try push to be top 20. That's where I'm going to try push. That's what I'm going to set my eyes. I'm going to do everything I can to get as close to or inside the top 20 as possible. And within the next 2-3 years, the goal will be podium at the games. That is what I'm trying to go for. And that is what I'm going to work towards until I achieve that goal.
Come back with the top 20 this year, and it will be something.
Yeah, 100%, Mr. Al. That's the goal. That's what we're going to push for, as realistic as possible. That's what I'm going to try push for.
Nice. Anything to add before to finish?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I always love chatting you, whether it's over the phone or in person. It's always like a chatting you. I really appreciate the opportunity and you having a chat with me as well. Thank you so much. I'm really excited for the games. I'm like I said, I am competing for me and for my coach. I'm going to obviously try not like any Africans or South Africans or family and friends. I don't want to let anybody down, but I am going to go there. And the one thing that I do promise I will do is I will give my 100% effort. I will not hold back. I'm pretty sure obviously maybe some mistakes will happen, but that's part of preparation, is to avoid those as much as possible and handle it as best I can. But the one thing that I do promise without fail is that I will give my 100% effort, and whatever that comes back, I will make sure that I'm better next year. So keen for the games, keen to get it started, keen for the experience and everything to take it in. And I just can't wait to go to America to compete.
Good. I wish you the best, Ruan. And
thank you.
I'm not worried about your future. Just keep going, keep climbing as you are doing. And we keep an eye on you, and we'll do our best to make sure you get the money to go there, and that I will try to do my best and to push this fundraiser as much as I can. Okay, so
sure, thank you so much.
Hopefully we will meet again in Egypt this year.
100%. Better make sure you're going. I want to see you there, Mr. Al. I want to see you there.
Yeah, and maybe in Barcelona too.
There we go. That'll be nice. I'm looking forward to that one as well. That'll be cool. I'll speak to Ricky and see what we can plan and sort set up as quickly as possible.
Yes, but I think Barcelona is there is a competition in September in Barcelona.
Yeah, I think it happened now, or is about to happen. But obviously, I'll see what Ricky says and what we can do, because obviously it's difficult for him and his stage, because Ricky has 8 to 9 athletes going to the games. So he has me as the male. He has the 2 ladies in the team. The 2 ladies are his athletes, but obviously when they do team stuff, it's part of what the different coach that coach them as a team. But Ricky conditions the 2 ladies, Lani and Janine. And then on the adaptive vision, obviously, I think he's got 2 adaptive, Lenshin and Wietsman. And then he's got, I think, also 2 or 3 age group qualifiers that also made it to the game. So, and with the structure of the games, I'm not exactly sure how it's followed. Is that us and the teams will be early August, and then Sam, I gotta try get back to the gym now. I gotta get ready. As soon as we're done talking, then I gotta get back to training. Otherwise, I'm not gonna make it before I have to coach again.
So you was telling, just to finish, about Ricky with
I was just saying, so when you were saying that the Barcelona competition might be happening in September, so I think it's Budapest that we might be going to in December, and Barcelona is happening in September. And the reason why I don't think we'll make September's Barcelona comp is because apparently how the CrossFit Games, I haven't looked in it too much, just because it's not my division I'm competing in. But because Ricky has me as the individual male, and he has the teams that he's looking after for beginning of August is when we compete at the games. At the end of August, it's the age groups. So Ricky is staying in America the whole of the month, because there's no point in paying. So the whole competition for the games is spread out, not just over one weekend, how it's kind of always been, or 1 week, or how it's kind of been. It looks like it's spread. So I don't know if we'll do Barcelona, just because Ricky might still have to be in America or go back to America or do something. But definitely Egypt will happen for November, and then I think it's Budapest, a competition in Budapest that we'll go to in December.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I think definitely the international competition and exposure and experience 100% helps in being a better athlete. Just for like having that in person, like kind of like vibe and feel like, okay, I know what to happen. I know kind of like how the setup is going to be. If something goes wrong, I've gone through, there's no anxiety whatsoever. It's just execution. I've practiced it. I've done it so much. And that was something that Ricky also looked at, like Matt Fraser. Matt Fraser, in his first year, when he won his first games, he did 17 competitions throughout the year. So he was so conditioned that when it's game time, like you're ready to go, you're focused, you know what that focus should be, you know what you're supposed to do, you're zoned in. So definitely the overseas competitions makes a big difference in how you compete as an athlete, in my opinion.
Very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah.
So
thanks, Al, dude. I really appreciate the call. I really appreciate your time and your effort, and it really means a lot to me that you reached out. So just from my side, thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing you again in person.
Yeah, and also congratulations again, and thank you for the show. And I really hope you will push hard there and show to the world what we can do in Africa. So very happy.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's the plan.
Thank you. So take care and see you soon, hopefully. Bye.
Sure.
Thank you,
Thank
bye.
you, Mr. Al. Cheers, man. Look after yourself.
See you. Bye.